welcome to Birmingham Cameras Online. I'm Jingle Jules.
And I'm Brian Whelan.
And as you can tell from Brian's jacket, this is our Christmas gift guide. So we've got a selection of cameras here that have interchangeable lenses. Some are DSLR and some are mirrorless. Now Brian, can you remind us what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, okay. So when you say DSLR and mirrorless, both of them have interchangeable lenses, so they are similar in that regard, and they would generally be aimed at somebody who wants to learn a bit about photography or knows about photography and wants to influence the photo or some of the settings themselves.
Okay.
So they would have both program and manual modes. But as the clue is in the name of mirrorless, the camera doesn't have a mirror. So with a DSLR, they would all have a mirror which helps the viewfinder show you what the lens is seeing. Whereas with a mirrorless camera, that's not there. So with mirrorless cameras, they do tend to be smaller and lighter. You can see this would be a DSLR camera here, the Nikon D3500, and this would be a mirrorless camera here, which is the Canon EOS M50.
So big difference in size and weight. Is there big differences in the price?
If you compare like with like, a slight difference, but not much difference nowadays.
Okay, so what have you brought to show us for all the people who are going to be on the good list with Santa this year and they know what they want for Christmas? What have you got to show us?
Okay, well you can see we have an array of cameras here, and these cameras are in various different shapes and sizes and designed for all budgets.
Okay.
So I suppose we start at the start maybe, which would be the entry level. Now we find that sometimes when somebody comes in and asks for an entry level camera, they're looking for a very basic camera, where nowadays an entry level camera is quite basic and easy to use, but they're very high spec as regards to the quality they will give you. So an entry level camera is a very good camera to start off with. In this case here we have the Nikon D3500. So that's, again, all the cameras have interchangeable lenses, so it has an interchangeable lens. It's very easy to use, has program, has manual control, has a built-in flash, you can change the lenses on it, and it has a Bluetooth wireless connectivity on it as well.
Great, okay, so that's a good one for somebody starting off to maybe
Exactly,
have a compact camera and thinking, I've really found an interest in a hobby here and I'm ready to up my game.
Yes, exactly,
okay,
yes.
great. Next up?
One beside it here, that's a Panasonic LUMIX model. It's a LUMIX G7. So this is the starting point of the mirrorless cameras.
Okay.
So the first one's a DSLR, now we're on to mirrorless. So this one will function like a DSLR, again program and manual controls. It's probably the starting point of the mirrorless cameras that would have the manual controls that you would want if you want to influence the photo yourself. Built-in flash, you've got wireless connectivity, and this one would also have a swivel screen as well.
Okay, oh, that's a brilliant advantage, yeah.
You've got that there, and that would be the next step up from the entry level.
Okay, another mirrorless?
Another mirrorless, yes, and that's the M50, the Canon EOS M50. That was a little bit of a step up, slightly higher specifications, got a better autofocusing system, a better metering system, so it'll be faster at autofocusing, and it will keep focus if you're doing like action or sport or something like that. Would be a little bit better. Also has better video functions as well, so as we've moved up to here in the range, we're moving up to a camera that does better video as well as better photos.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
Still has the swivel screen, so it does a bit of both, as I was saying, photo and video.
Yeah, because video can be hugely important for people these days, as important as the photographs themselves. So it's a good thing to know. So that's the Canon EOS M50. Yep.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
And then the one beside is another Canon. So this is a Canon DSLR. So we're back onto a DSLR now. This is the Canon EOS 77D. Now this is a step into the mid-range of the digital SLRs. So when you look at this guy, what you have is, again, faster autofocusing, faster continuous drive. So when you go to the mid-range in cameras, if they are mirrorless or DSLR, that tends to be where you'll notice the improvements. It won't be just about the image quality improving, it will also be about what the camera actually does. So all of the functions of the camera, you'll get a wider range of functions, as well as a better image quality, and then also it does a slightly better video function as well.
Great, okay. What's up next?
Okay, so next we're back over to your side. So this is a mirrorless camera, and this is the first of our full frame cameras. So what a full frame camera is a camera that sensor that is recording the image. It's the same size as what an old film would have been, a 35mm film.
Okay.
So it's got a larger sensor than the cameras that are in the front here, and that gives better low light performance and better colour rendition of the photos that it takes. So this is the Canon EOS RP. This is their starting point in the mirrorless cameras, in the full frame mirrorless cameras. So this again aimed at somebody that wants a little bit more than point and shoot, and certainly aimed at somebody that's a bit more of an enthusiast than somebody going for one of the models we've looked at earlier on. It's got again more options as regards to on your manual settings, and because it's got the full frame sensor, it allows more scope for things like low light shooting and things like that.
So if you've really figured out your buttons and you know like what all the different terms and everything are, this is where you'd be starting off.
That's it.
Okay,
exactly,
great, okay.
But again, not difficult to use. So if somebody said, I want a full frame camera because I want the quality and the advantages that it brings, but I still want it easy to use, that'll be the one to go for.
Okay, great. Okay, and tell me about this one here.
So this one here is a Nikon model. So this is Nikon's starting point in the full frame mirrorless. So it's a model called a Z6. Now Nikon are relatively new to the mirrorless side of things. This is their starting point in the full frame section of it. It's very, very high quality. Again, you've got things like all the manual controls and just better image quality and better video performance again. So as we go up, that kind of becomes a trend, like, you know, better image quality, but more functions in the camera too, and then better video. This would be
designed, faster processing on everything, and everything is just that next step.
All stuff
you know,
like that.
we do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking at the Fuji one next. This is a model called the Fujifilm X-T3.
Have we got the high end now of our selection?
Yeah, okay, mid to high end. Yeah. We keep on going up. The reason that this one is in here is like this is quite interesting. I actually like it because you can see you've got all the dials here. So unlike most of the cameras we've looked at before, which is they have an LCD panel, and that's where all the settings are shown. This one's going a bit more old school, kind of retro style.
Oh, why is that? Is that a style thing? Is it? Yeah. Okay,
it's a style and function because you can change the functions by using those dials. But a lot of people who would have learned on a film camera would get excited when they see this because it takes them back. Okay. So a bit more dials, a bit more retro style, as I say.
Cool.
And then the last one that we're going to look at is the Sony. It's a Sony A7 Mark III.
Oh yeah.
Now this one certainly for the past year, 18 months has literally been asked about by people by name. Do you have the Sony A7 Mark III? This is a model that I won't quite say it's all singing, all dancing, but it's certainly very close to it. If you're a professional, if you're an enthusiast, if you're an amateur that just wants very high quality and a lot of functions, the A7 Mark III is what one you're going to come into us asking about.
And great video too.
Great video, great photos, 4K video, fantastic photos, tilt screen, and just as I say, it just does so much for so many people. Like it's really, as I say, professional, enthusiast, amateur, doesn't matter. The A7 Mark III, if you want one of the best, if not the best cameras, that's one to go for.
Okay, that's the one for the Dear Santa. Well, Dear Santa for all of them.
All of them for Dear Santa,
okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant, great selection. Thanks, Brian. So all you have to do now, I guess, is just be good. Make sure you stay off the naughty list and share this video so you can tell your family and friends, hint, hint, this is what I want for Christmas. So as always, you can check out our website, it's birminghamcameras.ie, or drop into us in store to talk to Brian or the lads or Natasha about any of the cameras you see here. I'm Jules Cole, keeping things in focus for Birmingham Cameras.